Good afternoon, guys. I'm WUSA Season 3, Episode 243. I just left home. It's afternoon Sunday. I got about a third of a mile down the street, and the low coolant light came on. I stopped. I put some coolant in, ready to go. And this neighbor comes out, and she wants to talk about my car, and she's having problems with her car, and she's looking for a new one, and all this stuff. I'm like, all right, whatever. She wants to know where I bought my car, and I'm like, I don't know the name of the place. It was referred to me by a friend of mine. He owns an exotic car company, and went through this whole thing, and anyway, so she's supposedly supposed to be sending me a text message so I can get her the information for where I bought this car. So everything is fine. I put about 8 ounces of fluid in there, and on my way. The light's off, no issues. So we should be good for a while. I don't know how long it's been, a month, 6 weeks since I put it in last. But it is Sunday afternoon, 48 degrees outside, nice, mostly sunny day. And we're off and going here. We're going to try to make some money. We're going to stop at a lot of places today. Looking at 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 stops minimum. Most of them slot. And 2 of them I have not been to since I was backed off of those casinos. And I got a letter in the mail. I tell my wife, don't ever sign for certified mail. And she signs for it 100% of the time. And it was a trespass letter from the casino that I played 5 hands of blackjack at, min betting the whole way. And they sent me a trespass letter. Not allowed to come back there for life, and it says for reason undesirable behavior. So just so you know, using your brain is undesirable behavior. So please, for God's sake, don't use your brain. Come on, what's wrong with you? Gamble without a brain. Now, if you gamble and you're high, or you gamble and you're drunk, please continue to gamble, lose everything you have. We love our customers. Just come in and lose your money. That's all we care about. But don't try to use your brain. We will eject you immediately. Now, he's told me that you cannot be in the casino unless you have ID, because we don't know if you're old enough. But at that point, I had a hand in front of me already, and the dealer said, well, what should I do? If you don't know if he's old enough, how are you going to... No, just let him finish the hand. So then you're violating the law. You don't know how old I am. You suspect that I'm not old enough, and you're allowing me to finish the hand. Is that right? So you're violating the law, because you never found out how old I was. But anyway, whatever. Take it in stride. Big deal. So we'll see what happens when I enter those 2 locations today, if I get that far. One of them is going to be one of my further spots that I may or may not get to it, depending on timing. Yesterday, my wife and I ran over to a casino to pick something up, and we played for a few minutes. Well, we were probably in there 40 minutes or so, and we ended up leaving ahead $531. And what's more, and the information I'm going to give you is as of yesterday, the day before yesterday, because it's time sensitive. It changes every day. With the calendar, but as of 2 days ago, when I updated my charts, I am actually now ahead of my goals for the year to date, by $4,400. So I'm looking back, and I'm estimating I was probably ahead of where I needed to be, probably around 15% of the year, and 85% of the year I was below where I needed to be, which is probably good. It's a good goal, because it's just barely out of reach, and it's something that I can strive for. If I set my goal for $5,000 for the year, then what are you striving for? What are you pushing for? So anyway, that's all that. And then I'm just looking at some other things I'm experimenting with as well, including right now I'm going to be working on getting rid of credit cards that we don't want, that are not worth it. Keeping in mind credit score. So right now, obviously, okay, so I used to fix people's credit a long time ago. I'm very good at that stuff. I know pretty much everything there is to know about credit and credit reports and credit scoring systems and stuff like that. In fact, my mortgage broker, she once said to me, "You're the only guy I know that can go from a 620 to an 810 in 1 month." And yes, I can, because I know how to utilize credit. When I have credit at low interest rates, I knew how to, make money off it. But then when I needed a good credit score, I would pay everything down, wait a month, and the credit score would skyrocket, and then I'd get what I needed. But keeping in mind that you want your average account to be over 7 or 8 years old. If it's possible for it to be over 10 years old, that's even better. So I'm never going to close my oldest account. My oldest account is very old, back from the 1900s. So I don't want to close that account, obviously. But accounts are 2 or 3 years old, I'm going to cancel. My wife has a PayPal account that charges you $1.99 a month to get a statement in the mail. That one's going bye-bye. So she uses that one a lot, and I just paid it off again. And I told her, once it clears, you're going to call them up and you're going to cancel that card. We don't need that card. So I have a chart at home. Of course, what else would I have? An Excel worksheet that has all our credit cards on them, the credit card numbers, the phone numbers for the credit card companies, the limits, the interest rates, the date of the month that it's due, all that stuff. And I'll be looking through that and getting rid of cards that are not desirable. And then with all these new credit cards that I've recently gotten with the very high limits, I'm going to figure out what benefits they have, because a lot of them have like $600 annual fees. And it's worth it because you get like a free flight or Uber once a month or something like that. And we're going to decide which ones we need, which ones we don't need. And if we don't need them, I'm getting rid of them because they're young. They're only less than a year old. And if I don't need them, I'll get rid of them. And then I'll find another one to run through to get points. And so I've been doing a lot of reading, a lot of learning. And it feels good to get some new things to think about and to keep growing as an advantage player. So, and real quick, I just want to thank anyone who's helped me out along the way with that stuff. And if you don't know what I mean, it wasn't you, but if you do know what I mean, thank you for your help. I appreciate all the input that everyone gives me, and I don't take anything as criticism. I try to learn every step of the way and be open-minded, because my goal is to make money, not to be right. So anyway, that's what's going on right now. Heading off to our first casino, and I'll be back to update you. All right, guys, walking back to my car here. What a nice day. It is a nice day out. All right. As soon as I walked into this place, first thing I saw is another advantage player's face. And I said, "Hey, brother, should I just stop looking right now?" And he goes, I said, "How you doing?" He's like, "Oh, man, so bad." I'm like, "Why?" And he's like, he told me that the last night, I guess, or earlier today, he was playing a $50 a spin machine and got killed on it. And it's a machine I've been warning him about lately, because the payout has just been so horrendous lately. So yeah, he was playing $50 a spin. So I ended up leaving him, going and checking a few things, and I didn't expect to find anything because he just finished looking and that he was on his way out. And I found an okay play. I played that one. I made $100 after 5 spins. It was at like $2.50 a spin. So played that one, hit that, got up immediately, and then moved on, looked around everywhere, found nothing else. Came back around, and as I was leaving, there was a set of 3 machines. I was able to get on one, and then eventually on the second one and check them, and I found one play. But the one play was at $10 a spin. It wasn't going to be a big payout, but technically it was there. So I sat down, played that. It took me about 30 spins to hit it, and I ended up leaving that machine ahead exactly $100. And that was my last play. I ended up leaving that session ahead $204. Let's go, baby, 204, yay! All right, $204, so very happy about that. And we're moving on to another casino, and we're going to see what else we can do. I'm hoping this is the beginning of something big today. So right now, 52 degrees outside, looking beautiful, and we're moving on to the next casino, and I'll be back to update you soon. Alright guys, I am back. So I was in there for about 2 hours or so. Yeah, just about 2 hours. So I'm looking around at slot machines at this place, and trying to think, it's been so long. I start with a small win. How much was that? I don't know, $30 or $40. Not much. And just keep playing and find another one and play that one, and that one gets me up like almost $100. Move on and find a big borderline play. I decide today's going to be the day we're going to do these. It's okay. It's just barely positive. We're going to give it a shot, and it gave me a shot. Actually, I got lucky. I only lost $200 on that machine. Put me down about $100 for the day. And then found another machine and played that one, and that one beat me up pretty bad. And now I'm second guessing this machine. I need to do a little bit more research, compare notes with some other people. That one put me down like 1136, I think, if I remember right. 1136 I was down, and it just got worse. I went to the next one, and that one beat me up. I lost another 1,000 in that one. No, more than that, like 1,600 in that one. And then I've had another big play on my way out. I hit that for a little bit, like 500 or 600, and ended my session down $2,217, $22.17. That's why I normally don't play these plays. I nickel and dime and pick up 100 here and 100 there, but I went for it this time, and bit me in the butt. But it happens. I mean, you know, sometimes I'm playing my regular game up to $5 a spin, $6 a spin. You know, unless it's in really good shape. If it's borderline, I usually won't play it. But today I was going all out, and it didn't work out, and I was hoping it would. But here we go. It's all right. So right now we're gonna move on. Minus whatever I said, 22.17 or whatever, and now we're having a kind of a crappy day. Wasted a lot of time in there, and right now we're moving on to the first casino that may have a problem with me due to the back off I had whenever last week. So we're going to find out pretty quickly. These guys not only have facial recognition, they've got like 5 or 6 facial recognition cameras at the entrance, and I'm not getting past that. So if I'm okay, I'm okay, but if I'm not, it will be in and out in 5 minutes or less. So we'll see what happens with that. For now, I'm gonna take a breath, gonna relax, forget about it, and we're gonna move on to the next casino. Now our goal for the trip is to break even. So we were up 200, now we're down about 2,000 for the trip, and we're going to try to make, you know, half of that, 3/4 of that back before we head home with our tail between our legs. I'll be back. Alright guys, I'm back. I don't mean to be a whiner here, but that was a stupid session. I should have just stuck to my game. I'm doing fine. I'm where I need to be for the year now, and I did that by taking a step back and playing small ball and playing the shirt things and the better odds things without having to go nuts with the high variance, and that just set me back half a week. So hopefully I can get most of it back before I get home, and I have a shot this week. So man, that's just terrible. This week I'm actually going to be traveling a little bit more than usual. I do have some time off this week. Definitely will be home on probably Wednesday, Thursday, maybe Friday, and then Sunday we'll be back. So probably be playing Sunday, Monday, Tuesday, maybe Wednesday, and and then maybe Saturday or Sunday. So we'll see. A little bit different today. I'll be heading to different areas also. Tomorrow I'll be heading to an area I never go to on a Monday, and we'll see what happens with that. So yeah, actually the temperature's going up now. It's nice out. Wish I would have won some money. I could have left down $100, and this game was just calling to me. It's close enough, you got to do it. And I don't know the game very well, so back to the drawing board. I want to learn a little bit more about it and get other people's opinion on it. And that's what happens. I mean, we're playing a game of inches, and when you lose big, because you're guaranteeing that you're going to be down a lot of money, usually, on most of the games that we play, before you hit and get up. And if it doesn't work out when you hit, then you're stuck. So anyway, I'll be back. Dude, man, that was crazy. Oh man, that was really an insane session. I walk in, and the parking lot is packed, and I don't know why. At the time, I know now that there was some kind of a show or something going on, but it is so packed. I'm having a hard time finding a parking spot. Normally, Sunday nights, if I were to come this direction, then it's like half empty in there. But anyway, I walk in, I look at a couple slots that I was curious about from before. Last time I was here, some stuff was going on, and I wanted to see the changes they made. Anyway, I walk into the high limit area, and there is a $50 table. There's two $50 tables are empty. There's so many tables open. I'm like, what is happening? Later on, I found out, like I said, there's a show and all that. So I sit down at one of the tables. I buy in for $500, and this one pit boss that thinks he knows me but doesn't know me, but he's too afraid to ask, that type of thing. He says hello, and I buy in for $500. And the first hand dealer I have like a 19, and the dealer draws to a 20. Second hand dealer has a blackjack. So within like 5 minutes, I'm still losing and losing and losing. Okay, rebuy 500. All right. So rebuy 500, continue on. Okay, rebuy another 500. So now I'm in 1,500. The shoe ends, and I'm only down like $100. Okay, no problem. The next shoe starts, and I only played two shoes, and I'm going to tell you why. First of all, it took a long time to play two shoes because, in fact, I played less than one shoe while the dealer was on break, which is a 20-minute break. Okay, that gives you an idea. What happened is, Asian guy comes to the table, and he's got like 500 in chips, has no clue what he's doing, and he loses like 2 or 3 hands in a row, and then he walks away. Now, the dealer running the break is one that I totally dislike, because she's one that's always like, well, thank you, like, you didn't tip me type of attitude, and I hate this dealer, but it's okay, it's all right, it's okay, calm down. All right, so I was trying to be calm, and I just lost a bunch of money at this last place, and I was trying to be a good boy, do the right thing, and I was afraid of surveillance, because whatever, these guys subscribe, whatever. So I walk in through security, no issues, go back there, sit down, everything's fine, I'm down 1,500, and okay, my wife's texting me, sorry, just telling me, anyway, so the next shoe, the first hand, the other player gets 7 cards, I get 5 cards, the dealer gets 5 cards. So we're starting with a decent count right away. So I raised my bet. And then the next hand, same thing. The next hand, same thing. A lot of cards being used. What does a lot of cards being used mean? It means they're all small cards. By the time we got 2 decks into the shoe, I had a running 34 count. 34. So it's a 6-deck shoe. 34 divided by 4 is a true 8.5. So I'm like, okay, this place, the last time I was here, I was really worried about, and so I'm trying not to go immediately to max bet. So I add a quarter, I win. I add 50, I win. I lose, I add another quarter. No matter what I was doing, I was adding a quarter, 2 quarters until I got to my max bet. I was just doing a 1 to 10 spread, and I go from being down 1,300, no, more than that, 1,400, to being up in one shoe, $1,925, just betting a 1 to 10 spread. Okay, sorry. Just betting a 1 to 10 spread on a $50 table, and it was insane. And it got to the point where, I had quarters and hundreds. When I started asking for black, like when the count started going up, so I was down to 1 black. So then they were paying me only in black. I had a couple blackjacks in there, but my stack of black was getting so tall, and I'm worried because this place is always touchy about this stuff. And in fact, normally they would do something because I was playing unrated, and they didn't do that because the dealer said, "Are you playing rated?" And I said, "He knows me." And she just forgot about it because her brake runner was coming. So I ended up finishing the shoe ahead $1,925, and I was in and out of there in 30 minutes. It was like a ridiculous session, and something I would never expect to happen, especially I just had a big loss, and I'm being careful here. And I even told the pit boss, if I win like $500, $300, I'll leave. I'm just trying to make sure that everything is cool and feel things out here again, because it's been a while since I've been here. And luckily for me, at the beginning of that shoe, that pit boss goes away. He goes home, and another pit boss comes in. He has no clue what's going on. I color up, and I go to one cashier, and then cash out $2,200, and go to the poker cashier and cash out the rest, and everything is cool. And did I just get all my money back already? Let me see. So I was up 200. I was down 2,000. I think I'm down like $75 for the day, something like that. 200 there. 22 means I was down 2,000. 19, 20. Yeah, I'm down like $75 already. So, that was interesting session, and I know something would have happened because I've been at this place before where I had a big swing, and they called down from surveillance, and I heard the pit boss say, "Yeah, we know who he is." So, wow, in and out of there, and we're moving on. And to be honest, when I went into this place, I was thinking I need to cut out at least one casino because I'm running short on time. Now I might be able to pick it back up, and the casino that I'm talking about picking back up is the other one that might have the facial recognition that might catch me. So we're going to find out. If that one goes away, I don't really care, but it makes me very concerned because let's just say, no, I'm not going to say yeah, we'll just leave it at that. So anyway, so right now I'm continuing on, and I'll be back to update you. All right, guys, just pulling into this next place. Come on, I already took my seatbelt off. I'm like 5 feet away from this parking spot. You're gonna hear this thing starting to ding here in a second. Come on. Oh my gosh, this place is really kind of a dump. I don't really expect to find much here, but lately I've had a couple decent sessions here, like out of nowhere. So we're gonna go in, take a look around, and see if we can make some money, and then I'll be back. So we're only $75 or whatever away from even. Let's go in there and make some cash. Thirsty to get a drink, and then we need to stop and get gas. I'll figure that out here in a minute, but low fuel light came on. So anyway, all right, we're gonna walk in here, and hopefully good news. I'll be back. All right, guys, I'm back. Oh, that's what I have to say about that. Found like a tiny play. I play that, I'm ahead, whatever, $8, $12, something like that. And then I go play, hold on a second, this other one, and it's kind of borderline. There's a girl back there playing as well, so I'm waiting to see what's going on with that one because that one's close as well. And I'm like, yeah, that could happen. So I'll wait and see. So I play mine through. It doesn't pan out. I end up down like $140 something. And so I go back around, check out another one. Doesn't work out. I lose a couple dollars. So I'm ready to leave. And I see a couple guys that I had met maybe a month ago and talked to them for a few. And it turns out the girl's with them. So she's back there playing it, and I had asked her advice just to see what she knew, because it seemed like she knew what she was doing the way she was playing it, but I wasn't positive. But she's like, oh yeah, I would play that, and it's definitely not a play. So I'm like, okay, well, maybe she doesn't know what she's doing, that's fine. And I come around, and one of these two guys had just talked to her. So I'm like, wait a minute, are they like trying to take the play, or what's the deal with that? So I'm like a little cautious about it. So finally, I was able to talk to these guys. One of them was like walking behind me there. Turns out she's with them, and they don't have their money pulled together, but they know each other, I guess. So they're not with them, but they know each other. And she's very knowledgeable, and she'll say whatever to make it look like she doesn't know what she's talking about. But they gave me some advice about the place I just left, and it's actually pretty decent information, so it's helpful. So I ended my session down $142, so it's been a crazy one today, hasn't it? It's like unusual the way that it's going today, but minus $142 at that place. Didn't play much, but the ones I did play played terribly. The one machine, I was in it close to 600 spins before it fizzled out and paid me 0.0. So unfortunately that didn't work out, and it was a couple dollars a spin. I guess I got lucky that it wasn't much worse than that. So actually, I forgot I need to get gas. I get so tied up with talking about these guys and talking to these guys. Let's see, gas. Wow, that's a good price. Let's go there. Map. 7 miles. It said it was like 0.8 of a mile away. Yeah, I'm not going there. Anyway, all right, let me figure this out, get some gas, and I'll be back with you. All right, guys, I am back, and it's funny because I was actually considering not coming here, and then I walk in, and I'm like, all right, first machine I check, there's a play at $20 a spin, and I'm like, yeah, I don't want this play. All right, put a couple hundred in there, boom, boom, gone. Couple hundred more, gone. Couple hundred more, gone. People are starting to stand behind me and watch. It's like near the entrance, and people don't usually play that high here. They're playing 50 cents and 75 cents and stuff like that. Finally hit. I got some of my money back. I was down about $240 at that point, and then found a couple other small plays and played those through. And by the time everything was done, I ended my slot session down 201. So having a bit of a rough day as far as that. Now they did have blackjack as well, and I went to the blackjack area, and I was a little bit worried, but these guys are weird. They're hard to read. There's a small town atmosphere, but you have no way of telling what they're thinking, if something's going on or not. I sit down, first shoe, I never raised once the whole way through the shoe. The shoe was negative from the first card to the last card of the shoe. Second shoe, almost the same thing. I raised minimum raise. That's it. So I had like a 1-to-1 spread, except for a couple hands. It was a 2. And I finished that shoe ahead 505, so that was just pure luck, pure, variance, I guess. That's all it was. So I ended up going to the food area, getting some food, getting some chips, getting some candy bars, stuff like that, and moving on. So I ended that session. I had 505 on the blackjack and minus 201 on the slots. Exactly 201, like no sense at all. Well, I guess part of it was that $20 play. You're not going to get 47 cents when you're betting $20 to spin. And then when I went to get my drinks and food and stuff, talking to the girl at the cash register, and she's talking about all this stuff and talking about kids, and I asked her about her kids, and she said, "Oh, I don't have any kids. I'm only 18." I'm like, "What? What are you doing here?" It's like, you got to be 21 to get into this casino. How are you 18? "Oh, that's me and my sister. We both work here, and the only way we're allowed to work here is if we have our badge on all the time. We're only allowed to walk down the center aisle of the casino. We can't deviate at all, but we do," she says. I'm like, that's pretty interesting. I never heard that before. So probably the youngest person possible to work at a casino. But right now, doing pretty good on time. Not great, but pretty good. The interesting thing is, I'm going to be close. I'm closer now to the area I'm going to tomorrow than home, but it's still really early, so it doesn't make sense for me to run over to that area and stay overnight and do all that stuff. It probably still makes sense to go home, get a change of clothes, and then we'll do that tomorrow maybe. So right now, moving on to the next casino, and I'll be back to update you soon. Alright guys, it was a bit of a drive to get here, and unfortunately it really wasn't worth it. So I go in, looking at a few machines, see an Asian guy walking in front of me. It's almost like he's blocking me, he's slowing me down, and I'm heading toward this machine, and it's like right there, it's ready to hit, and it's a nice size payout too. It'd be about $150. Probably take $10, $15 to hit it. And then an Asian lady cuts in front of me and him, and sits down at the machine, and then he sits there with her. So looks like he was trying to slow things down so that they could get it instead of anyone else. I don't get it though. He could have just like sped up and gotten it. Why slow me down? Why not you just speed up? I don't know. Maybe he just wanted to walk slow. I have no clue. So missed that one. Looked around pretty much everywhere, found nothing else, and ended up just leaving a couple bucks ahead that I found in some machines. Never got to spin anything, so unfortunately didn't really have a chance there. But we are moving on to another place now. Go ahead, let these people go ahead of me. You want to do 60 and a 25? Go ahead, pal. Anyway, we're going to go on to another place right now, and you should have a little bit of opportunity there. You never know. This one also is a hit or miss type place. You can get some huge plays or nothing, and hopefully we can find something today. So that's what's going on. Temperature's hanging around 39 degrees right now, and I'll be back to update you after my next stop. Okay guys, just finished up there, and just played a lot of small things, a lot of nickels and dimes back and forth. There was no real big plays. Honestly, it was like $1 play was the biggest thing I played, and I was in that for a couple hundred, made a little like 220, something like that. So really didn't get anywhere there. Overall, just a boring session, a lot of walking, but couldn't really find a lot of plays, and I ended up ahead $43, which I think that puts me ahead like 250, 254, something like that for the day, which is pretty much where I started. That second stop that I took, where I took a $2,100 dive, was definitely not very good, but what could I do? So I did what I thought was right at that time, and things ended up working out, still ended up ahead. You'll recall after that second stop, I was saying, hopefully I can get half my money back, or maybe if I'm lucky, all of it back. I not only got all of it back, almost all at the next stop, but I'm actually ahead for the day. So that's what's going on now, after midnight right now, and we're going to keep moving here. I'll be back to update you. All right, guys, let's talk. What did you eat today, MW? My wife actually made homemade pizza. She actually went to a bakery and got a pizza crust. You got that done, and she made a cheeseburger pizza, which is ground beef, pickles, mustard, all the stuff. It was pretty good, and also pepperoni pizza, and everybody had that and liked that. And then this evening, I stopped at a Subway because nothing good was around, and all the fast food places have terrible food all of a sudden and terrible prices all of a sudden. So we're not doing that. So I got a foot-long steak and cheese with provolone on jalapeno bread with lettuce, tomato, pickles, olives, and jalapenos, salt and pepper, and light mayo. Delicious. Anyway, it was pretty good. So the pizza, I would give a Jack on a scale of 2 through 8, which is pretty high. And the Subway, I would give probably a 9, because I was aggravated because I bought a gift card on the spot for the exact amount that the bill was, and it didn't work for some reason, and the guy was an idiot. And then I used my credit card, which has a super high limit, and that didn't go through. So I used it again, and it finally went through because the guy doesn't know what he's doing. So, and that takes me to all these good people and how much they deserve in tips. How much did you tip today, MW? I actually had one bet that was, the count was high enough that would make this bet borderline profitable. So I put a $5 bet out and told the dealer I would split it with her if it won. So I technically tipped $2.50, which did not win. So did I tip 0 or $2.50? I don't know. I guess I would have bet the whole thing for myself. So technically, I guess I tipped 0, but maybe $2.50. So that's that. And it was a choppy day overall, up and down, but we ended okay, getting home early before 3 a.m. and gonna get some sleep and relax and all that stuff and get ready for tomorrow. Tomorrow's gonna be another big day, unlike normal, which normally I'm in the office all day on Monday. Tomorrow we're gonna be traveling, so that's what's happening for you. And I'm gonna let you go right now. If you have any questions or comments, my email is mwusa21@gmail.com, mwusa21@gmail.com. See you next time.